Valley Club, the unlock event for Old Man Logan has been officially announced, and the requirements to unlock legendaries are getting more and more restrictive. But is this a good or a bad thing for the long-term health of the game? The Mercs for Money team are all officially announced, and how impactful will Old Man Logan, Daken, and Pandapool be? And is the Spider Society becoming a major problem in Cosmic Crucible? We're discussing all of these things and more in this week's edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother Run7. And if you're ready for all this stuff and more, then brother Run, let him know what to do.
We're gonna smash it the exact way Scopely wants us to.
Oh yes, and welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, this is Run7, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every week, keep you up to date, everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel, keeping you up to date in everything in Marvel Strike Force. But it has been a while, Run7. Our schedules have not aligned for a while, and even at the meetup that we did about a month ago, I still didn't really get a chance to talk to you. So how the heck are you doing, Run7? I'm glad that our schedules finally lined up. We could do one of these news videos again, and you're looking very hot today.
Yeah. This isn't a background right here. This is me smoldering.
This is a normal chair caught on fire because of your anger.
Yeah. No, I would have liked to talk to you more at that meetup, but we had a lot of people there that were talking to us. That was great. Yeah, no, cool. I'm pretty frustrated. This whole month just has gone down worse and worse for me as far as the things that are coming from Scopely, the feedback we keep trying to give them, and the results that we're getting. And then with this latest blog post, we have even more, in my opinion, and other people may differ, but in my opinion, this is another step backwards.
Yeah, so there are a few good things. I'm going to point out a few good things, but overall, I think this is a step backwards. Old Man Logan trials, so this is for commanders level 50 and above. I do think is that the same, or was that reduced?
I don't know. I quit doing my new player account when I got to commander level 50, so I guess I could go in there and check it out and see if it's unlocked or not.
All right,
I don't know. I don't even know why they put the level 50 gate on there. It should be so challenging that people couldn't get through it if they're below level 50.
Because if you're low commander level, you need to build Captain America and Defenders and all those teams before you could build the good teams.
They want you to buy the hyper time heist bundle pass to get up there. It's to make more money.
Then you could unlock Old Man Logan. Yeah, then you could unlock all that stuff. All right. So this is going to be a combination of old legendary events with the new trials, which I guess is good. Players will be able to unlock Old Man Logan 4 yellow stars, collecting input teams at difficulty 8. Guess that's kind of good. Difficulty 8 will not have yellow star requirements. There's 5 new difficulties, so it's 10 difficulties. It's not going to be 15. New difficulties will reward players who upgrade their input teams to 5 yellow stars and more. So that's difficulties 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And difficulty 10 and lower, or I guess 10 and lower, and then 11 up is the cutoff for your 5 yellow requirement. Also heard your feedback loud and clear. The minimum score for leaderboards got reduced to 100,000. What was this, 450,000 before?
Or 400, I believe, is what it was.
All right, so reducing that, more people that qualify, that helps the ranking rewards. That's good. All right, let's talk about this new system here. Upgrade tokens. The Old Man Logan trials will feature a new way to unlock star levels. Upgrade tokens. A token instantly unlocks a star level for a character. We have more things to share about this and future uses of upgrade tokens. All right, so good thing about this, we don't have to calculate how many shards we're getting. We just know, all right, 6 stars, 7 stars, 5 stars. That's a good thing. I'm not looking at my ranking rewards.
Sure,
That's
all right. That's a good thing, but here's the...
I know we're getting to a lot of the rest of the stuff, right?
Go on, go ahead, just lay down all the positive stuff. Right, go ahead, we'll get that out of the way.
Now is where it's going to start to get a little questionable. Run score, 930,000 will earn a 4-star Old Man Logan token. It's going to be achieved by completing difficulty 8. Now, it's not clear whether this is with all the packs on or without them on, but all right, what was said in the Envoy chat, I'm not sure how accurate this is, about this would be comparable, difficulty 8 compared to difficulty 6 on previous difficulties. This is probably about 2 difficulties lower. So
I think somebody said -2 or something. Yeah. So with it going all the way to 15, it becomes easier to do it at 8. And this is great as long as you're commander level 50 and you can get a run score of 930,000. You're going to unlock the character. Doesn't matter who you have built because there's no requirements at this difficulty, right?
Yeah. Difficulty, no requirements. Yes. So the lower star unlocks should be easier. The higher star unlocks are going to get a lot harder with Man Logan.
The only low star unlock is this. This is the only low star unlock.
There's a 5. There's a 5 that you might be able to get. We'll look at this. We'll get there. Because these first run leaderboards might give you another star for your character. You need a run score, 100,000 to qualify. Top ranks receive a reward 6 and 7 yellow star Old Man Logan upgrade tokens. So what this means to me, and I'm not sure, we'll have to see it when it comes out of the game. What this means to me, if I score maybe a 4 star, maybe if I qualify high enough on those rankings, I could get a 6 or 7. Is that your impression of this, or is it something else? Is it
if you don't stop and think about it, yeah, that's what it is. But as soon as you stop to think about it and realize what's required to score higher on the leaderboard is your wallet. You have to have 5-star Cabal members to get through notes. There's no one, like a lot of us, myself included, didn't purchase Iron Patriot, but we do spend our $80 a month subscription fee on the passes, and we all still have a 4-star Iron Patriot.
See, this is where that bad Iron Patriot event comes back into play, right? That was such a bad release event. Some people that were grinding on the event didn't even get the unlock. Now it comes back because of that Iron Patriot event.
And so everybody who didn't purchase offers for Iron Patriot, and don't worry, Scopely's going to have lots of offers available for you the second time around.
They mentioned them here. They mentioned them here.
There's always the opportunity to spend money in Marvel Strike Force. But for those of us who just pay our $80 a month subscription fee to play this game, we're not going to get red stars on Old Man Logan. We're not going to score high on the leaderboards because we're not going to be able to do any higher difficulties because we are star gated from this event. It doesn't matter how good a player you are, how well you plan it out, how well you min-max your roster. It doesn't matter. It's star gated. You don't get to go higher unless you spend money.
Unless these leaderboards, nobody bought the offer, and we get higher the 6 and 7 tokens. And that's probably not what's going to happen, right? But
community not to buy Cyclops during the whole boycott thing, and everybody bought Cyclops quietly but didn't unlock him, right? Like no one's going to not do this. It's all
that's my optimism, but it's probably not going to be like that, all right? So there's a leaderboard. You get some stuff here. We'll see how high you can get.
And here's another thing. Let's talk about this tokens for a minute. Tokens make it so that you can't run the event the second time around with the same built team. You're going to have to build your team bigger and get more stars and push further into this event rather than what we used to do, which was slow roll it over and over and over again and collect shards each time we go in, because you're getting a token. And once you've got that token, you don't get to get it again. That's my understanding of how it works.
Let me play devil's advocate. That is how it's going to work. But let me with a token, maybe we don't have to use gold. So maybe these tokens are a good thing that we have to spend less gold upgrading characters. Also,
that just means they need to put less gold into their budget for the game. We're just going to have less gold received in whatever updates they do to War and Crucible. I'm not optimistic about that.
Hold on. You're comparing this to the old Scourges and the old Trials, which were very friendly. We could run these with very little characters and go over and over again.
Great, in my opinion. Why are they fixing something that people enjoyed?
Well, is it that they enjoyed it or that they weren't profitable? Because the old legendaries, remember, there was no difficulty. As long as you met the requirements, the stages were so easy. There was no challenge. You met the difficulty. I mean, you met the requirements as far as stars and stuff like that. You got the unlock. So would you prefer this new way? Obviously, the Scourge and Trials are good, but would you prefer this new way or the old legendary system?
If they took out stargating, I would be fine with this new way. It's not, I prefer the old way, frankly. But I understand what they want to do here, but they need to take out the stargating and just make the content challenging to where a player wants to purchase offers to push to the next level because they're really close to doing it, but need a little bit more power. That's the thing. They're lazy. They don't want to build a game mode that's challenging and difficult and well balanced so that players feel enticed to push as hard as they can and players want to spend money. They just make a Stargate so that you don't get through unless you spend. That's not fun to me at all. And I don't like this token system because we can't slow roll these over and over and over again. We have to build characters.
But Run, the Stargate was what we had in the old legendaries before. Is that, and I think this sounds like it's more generous. So it's always about stars in the old legendaries, which is why I think this is a little better. Because of the first time rewards, maybe we get a higher star than that. Yeah, we can't rerun it like the Scourges and the Trials. I thought that was a little too generous though, just because of the way that they had things in the past and the way the other games did it. I thought it was great. Obviously, they didn't make enough money, so they had to switch it. But I think this switch is still better than the old legendary system, where it was still all about the gating of the stars.
Well, I disagree. I don't like this new system at all. I'm really upset that I'm going to have to buy an offer for Iron Patriot. Unless they give us some more shards to get Iron Patriot to the next star, this doesn't feel good to me. I want to be able to just simply use the smallest character possible, the smallest build possible, and try it over and over and over again and theory craft about how to get through that. And of course, there's no theory crafting on what teams we get to use, right? We have 3 nodes. 2 of those nodes require one team and then another team, and then the third node can use both on there. And so once again, you're stuck using the 5 characters Scopely tells you to use. And this is the worst part of it, in my opinion. They built the Cabal team to be interchangeable with other villains for the maximum benefit, allow us the ability to theory craft and do anything we want. We could put them with heroes if we want, but they're designed to go with villains. And what do?
Wait, we haven't got there yet. Ron. All right, let me announce what you're going to do. Emma, Loki are the other 2 required. Yeah, we haven't even got to the Cabal yet. So, all right, we added 5 new difficulties, total 15. 8 is required, the minimum to reach the 4-star unlock. Higher difficulties will narrow the character traits. You could earn more rewards. 5 new difficulties will have star requirements for the required traits if your roster up to challenge. 5-star Old Man Logan awaits at difficulty 11. All right, so I guess you're right. I think I read that wrong. So difficulty 11 is when you have that 5-star. So you need a 5-star on all your characters, which again, does align with the previous legendaries. The new ones are a lot better. The new ones are awesome.
They should just take that away. Build a tough and challenging game mode that forces people to build them because they want to get to that next level, not requires you to build them to have access to that next level. That's garbage.
I'd recommendations, I agree, are fine. Requirements, limiting, even if without the recommended stuff you aren't able to do it at all and you need the recommended, make it recommended, don't make it required.
Recommended, not required.
I 100% agree with that. You know, difficulty, let's say 1.3 of the incursion is super hard, you can't do that, but that's fine.
Aren't they recommending for incursion 2.3? They're recommending like level 100, tier 19 for simming, right?
And
of course, we're manually it at like tier 17 and 18 level.
I'm simming it way lower than that, and sometimes I fail. That's for the 100% reliable. Sometimes I fail, but then I sim it at way lower than that. Anyway,
so define a better idea of recommended, and then let's go with recommended instead of required, because this isn't fun.
I would agree with that. Make it recommended and make the difficulty so hard that if you don't bring the recommended, you're not going to get to it. But let us figure that stuff out. Yeah.
They want to do that.
We'll get to that in Kyln, because that was not fun either, because I didn't know how to have the stars or that stuff, and I reset a lot and I just ran out of time. We've revisited our decisions to determine Cabal would be the second team required for Out of Time. So in one of our pre-blog posts, it was Cabal. They took that out before the blog post went live, and Archangel did say on Mobile Gamer Stream that Cabal would not be required for the next legendary. They may be required for something in the future. I know a lot of people, this upset them because he did say not required for the next legendary, and now they are. What are your thoughts on this? You mentioned it previously. What are your thoughts on Cabal being required?
So I'm not upset with Cabal being required, and this whole going back and forth on it doesn't matter to me, because we're coming to an era in Marvel Strike Force where you are not going to be able to skip any character that comes out. We've got raids coming out that will require every single team that comes out. Yeah. We're skipping over Cabal. It came out after that, but the new showcase raids are going to be every single new
Cabal
team.
is required. Now Cabal is required, right?
Now Cabal is required, right? But you're going to have to build every single team that comes out to some level. The question is, what level are you going to be able to get through those raids on? With Cabal, Cabal's a great team. I don't have a problem building this team. They're new. They're really powerful in game modes that I enjoy using them. They work great. They're designed around theory crafting. It's a great team to have to build. I think this is a great choice. So I'm glad they put the Cabal team back in there. And I don't care that it went back and forth. They made a mistake, and it's not going to change anything, right? I mean, if you needed to buy offers back then, and then they took it down, you said, well, I'm going to skip those offers, and now it's coming back up. Well, guess what? They're going to have offers for you to buy, so you're not missing out on anything. And I pushed hard for every character that comes out as far as free to play to unlock their stars and build them up as much as they can, and I think others should too. So it shouldn't matter that this went in, went out, went back in, and that I think the team is a good choice. What isn't a good choice is them forcing us the two remaining characters to pair with the team. This is probably some of the worst characters. I have trouble thinking of two worse characters to force us to build big to go with this team.
All right, so Emma, Loki, two kit-based characters. They could have chosen any other characters that would have had a lot of incentive to actually build them for other game modes. Loki, Emma, they do what they need to do even at low stars, and even when they die, they're still pretty good. Who would you have liked in place of Emma, Loki, or would you just said Cabal and any other characters? What would have been your preferred if it was two choices? And would you prefer to just open up to all villains?
The preferred choice would be non-legendary, non-mythic villain of our choosing, plus 3 Cabal members. That would have been my favorite, because then it's any villain in the game that isn't legendary or mythic. I see they don't want to do that, so okay, let's give us maybe a choice of 4 characters to pick from, but if that's not going to work, then my 2 would probably be something like Vulture and Spider Slayer, or maybe if you want to reach into something older, you could do something like Taskmaster and I don't know, Mr. Negative, since there's some stuff going on with
Doom. I would like Doom. I know you don't want mythic characters. I would like Doom because he goes so well with this character.
Doom doesn't synergize as well with the Cabal team as I would like him to.
Sometimes
I end up using him separately, and I'm building Doom anyway. But I mean, honestly, I'm a big fan of Taskmaster. If they give him a touch up, I think he'd be a great character to choose. But yeah, let's go. Vulture and Spider Slayer would be choices that I don't think anybody would have a problem with.
I'd be happy with that. Let me know who you would like instead of Emma and Loki, or are you fine with Emma and Loki just because they're okay on this team anyway?
They're useful characters, but they're completely kit-based characters. They do not need to be built big, and you're going to need them to survive to get to the last node. I'm really disappointed with this choice.
So if you're a newer player, what we mean by kit-based, all their power, all their stats are in their kit. You don't need to build them to high levels for them to work properly. Whereas other characters, maybe like Kang or Icarus, you need them at high levels or they don't run properly. Emma, Loki are kit-based characters, so they're running fine even at low levels. All right, so these are the requirements. Out of time for mission 2, Cabal, Emma Frost, and Loki for mission 6, and any characters for mission 2 and 6 for these for difficulties 5. And then when it gets to difficulty 11, well, you need 5 stars for Cabal, Emma, Loki, and out of time for difficulty 11 and 12, 6 for 13 and 14, and 7 for difficulty 15. I guess this is where you're going to get a 7-star unlock. Yeah, anything else to say about this? I mean, it is what it is. This is what it's going to be.
I think the leaderboard is going to be broken down into spending brackets. Did you buy your characters to 5 stars, 6 stars, or 7 stars? Because that's going to dictate where you land on those leaderboards. I think that's hot trash. I think they need to get away from this stargating. It's disgusting to me. If you want to build a good game, if you want to show and prove to this community that you have what it takes to compete with other hero collectors on the market today, then you need to forget this stargating and start making difficult, challenging, and entertaining content that your player base will want to spend on to get through.
Yeah, I don't like the stargating, but it is what they did for old legendaries. I like that they were moving away from it. I still think this is better than some of the old legendaries. Let's talk about these trials, though. We have a hint of some of the other teams required in these trials. World at War, all Alliance War abilities are active during this run. We have some max health from experimental serums. Godspeed Spider-Man. Spider Society characters gain 15% damage. Sinister 6 characters gain 10% max health. So maybe required on some of these nodes there. Also, we have Forge and Fire. Crucible abilities active during this run. Berserker Barrage, when a character defeats an enemy, fill their speed bar by 20%. On spawn, controller characters gain taunt. Cosmic Balance, all cosmic heroes gain 10% crit chance. Cosmic villains get more damage. I think they're going to be required on a node as well, either cosmic heroes or villains, and Mysterio's Triumph hero characters deal an extra 10% damage to other hero characters. Any packs or these stand out for you? Any that you're like, we need to use these, or I'm not going to use those?
It's not going to matter. You're going to turn them all on and do the highest difficulty that you paid to get into.
True. Hopefully, I have the only question about this is if you need all these on to complete difficulty 8 to get that 4-star unlock for Old Man Logan. That's or true. Not. That is where it's going to.
For getting smaller rosters, newer players, you're absolutely right. Yeah. There are going to be some really good ones. If you're, a lot of players may not need like the war ones because they don't necessarily need to build the out of time if they're in those lower difficulties and stuff. So it is going to be a mix and match. And of course, we're going to have a lot of different content creators putting out different ideas on what works best for different situations.
All right, couple things coming up. Trial prep. Be on the lookout for the Red Tooth and Claw event. And if we look at the, what would this call? The calendar? The infographic calendar, yeah. May 14th to 20th is when this event is going live. So that's what you could look out for. And they say there's going to be an orb that contains out of time and Cabal character shards, other important resources to power up. How many shards of Iron Patriot do you think is going to be in this, considering how bad his release event is?
Whatever it is, it's going to put most players within a $5 offer of getting what they need. That's what I think Scopely is going to do. They're going to balance it so that the majority of players get really close, but not quite there, and have to break out the wallet for the smaller offers.
Is that good? Is that good? What is that? I don't know.
Hey, we live in a capitalist society. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they live in that. Run. I think that sounds like good capitalism.
There you go. And you know what? That's how it's been, and that's fine. That's fine.
All right, Pocket Dimension is coming. More details are coming, but next Pocket Dimension will have a spotlight on the Cabal team, helping with the Old Man Logan trials. This is also going live on the 24th, which is in line with the PDF. They're actually, no, not in line with the PDF. This is going to end live on the 24th. What are you expecting from this? What kind of rewards? More shards for Cabal? I
have no idea. I don't know if they're going to reward us with Cabal shards or if it's going to require you to have already built your Cabal to get through. The phrasing on this has me kind of at odds. I'm not really sure. I'm skeptical going into this if I'm going to have a powerful enough team to move through it or if I'm going to feel like I'm rewarded for what I've already done. And that's just going to depend on the numbers. And same thing like with that orb. I don't know if that orb is going to be worth fighting for, or if it's going to have like is it going to have a guaranteed 4-drop minimum of some of the premier characters? Heck yeah, I'm all in. Is it going to have opportunities for no character shards to drop out of it? Get that thing out of my face, you know?
I'll still take it. If it's free, I'll still take it.
Hey, it's got gold, you know. A lot of people need training mats. Yes. What's in it? I don't know. It'll all depend on the numbers.
All right. Hopefully the numbers are good. As you know, they're probably going to be mediocre. They're not going to be exceptional. They're not going to be horrible, but they'll be okay. Let's move on with this Merc for Money team. Let's move off this Old Man Logan release. It is a mixed bag. I know most people aren't happy with this, but let's talk about Old Man Logan. And let's talk about this. But yes, this Old Man Logan release is a mixed bag. I do see some positives, but there are a lot of negatives, like you mentioned, Run, that I hope they could go back and fix. Let's talk about this Mercs for Money team on the test server. 2 fathers, 2 children, and a panda. What do you make of this team? Were these the best choices for the Merc for Money team?
I have no idea why these all got paired together. Old Man Logan and Daken on the Mercs team. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, I get Deadpool and Pandapool. Mercenaries, fine. Deathpool. She's Deadpool's daughter. She's a Scopely original. They're trying to keep her relevant. Scopely's been doing a really good job of keeping their original characters on the perimeter of the meta and not falling out of the meta. I'm not going to say that they're all great. Kestrel's great, but the rest aren't. They're just good. And so they're always seeming like those are characters that you will have long-term value because they keep touching them up and they keep keeping them in the game for different reasons. I think that Deathpool for certain is the one that drops off of this team. I wasn't impressed with how her kit fits in with what's going on. I think you can keep Deadpool alive with just Old Man Logan on the field. Am I correct? You don't need Deathpool to be there. She still works well with those new warriors. So I think she's going to be the first one to drop off of this team, although she's already built as, you know, one of the biggest characters built for me on my roster. As far as Deadpool goes, I think he's the next one to go. I'm not excited about him. I'm not excited about his damage. His kit didn't get changed much. And I think Scopely wants us to try and theorycraft with his team. And that's why we have such a wide array of who's good and who's not. With Deathpool just simply doing better elsewhere, Deadpool not being valuable to this team. Old Man Logan is freaking nuts. I think he's fantastic. Pandapool looks pretty good, and I'm not really sure about Daken yet. I don't know where I land on him.
What do you think is a use case for this team? Obviously, they're war, probably countering out of time. Do you see this team having any value in Crucible, or are their bonuses too much tied to war to make a difference in other game modes?
I think we're going to be pulling one or two of the characters and using them in war. I think Old Man Logan could go in place of like Dagger on the new Warriors. I think he's putting out lots of bleeds and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of individual uses for some of these characters. I don't think their team is going to be a cookie cutter team used everywhere. I think they're a war team, and even on war, I think they're going to be broken up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think the three new characters are the ones that's going to shine. Anything stood out in particular about Old Man Logan's kit? He does have this new claws out effect. He does a lot of damage. He has a lot of focus. He's insane. He has a lot of healing. He has a lot of stealth. He's like a one-man team. What stood out about his kit to you?
Well, the first thing I noticed is that his healing power is kind of OP, which is not accurate to the lore. And we've been down this road. Scopely doesn't do things that are accurate to lore.
They do things. They have their own universe. They have their own universe run. It's not 616. It's not the MC. It's its own thing. This is its own thing. I
made the joke that we should just be glad that he doesn't fly and shoot lasers out his butt, because he's just different from what we actually expect.
Why? I would like an Old Man Logan that flies and shoots lasers. I mean, that would be cool. I would be happy if we had that. Screw the lore.
I think he's I saw, on attack, fill speed bar for myself, and then his basic gives speed bar and ability energy on his ISO 8 attacks. He's 100% striker in my book, which if they're a striker, they tend to be usable on other teams. You can plug them in because they're powerful. Strikers are usually powerful. They do something amazing with their counterattack, and he's no different. Lots of bleeds, lots of damage. Looks like he's giving himself speed and energy. He is a one-man wrecking show. So I think he's great. I think it's a good character to push for. I think if you enjoy using the Cabal and if you enjoy using your out-of-time members, then I think you should go ahead and break out the wallet and spend for this guy. Because there's Scopely says you're not allowed to go for him without using your wallet. So I think he is worthy of your wallet.
Would you spend for this character more for the mercs for money or his plug and play value in other game modes?
His plug and play value in other game modes. I was really disappointed that Deadpool didn't get a better rework. Deadpool being such a popular character in the MCU, in the comics.
His movie coming out really soon. Yeah.
I was really blown away that they didn't give him a better rework, and I think the fans should cry out and ask for them to circle back around to this character and do something. I was really surprised that Domino didn't get a look at all. She is a mercenary. She already has synergy with this character, with Deadpool. She would fit well onto this team. If they gave her a touch-up and gave her the Mercs for Money tag, it could be a 6-person team, and you could decide whether you want to use...
6-person team, I do like that.
I just think that there were opportunities. You've got lots of mercenaries already in the game that could be a lot of fun on this team. What about putting Taskmaster in here? I just think... It was a missed opportunity.
Lore-wise, this doesn't really fit. Deathpool doesn't really fit. But what the devs did say, in the chat. They said they did this for theory crafting reasons to make her, make the new warriors a little better. They did just get that rework for war. They're still very, very good in Cosmic Crucible. So this makes her better. This makes the entire new warriors better. That's why they did that. But Domino
and I'd like
thematically would have fit a lot better on this team, right?
I'd like to be clear. I'm glad that they gave Deadpool a touch up. Or sorry, excuse me.
Dead or death? Which pool are you talking about?
I'm glad that they gave Deathpool
this one, okay, the purple one,
a little bit of a touch up. She didn't need much, and they gave her a little bit. And I'm not going to be using her on this team. She's going to be used with my new warriors and elsewhere. But I'm glad that they gave her a touch up. It's cool that she has the Mercs for Money tag, but I really think she should be the 6th or 7th character for this team.
All right, let's move back to Pandapool and Daken. We'll cover these guys real quick. Pandapool, big tank, another controller with lots of speed bar manipulation, stealth, other positive, negative effects removal from Daken. Which character do you think is going to have more lasting value? Pandapool, the big fan-voted character, or Daken, the son of Wolverine that no one was really expecting on this team?
Right. I'm leaning towards Pandapool. I'm not really sure. I haven't had a chance to test them. I don't want to test them on the test server. I've had a really bad experience with the test server recently. It's a whole other subject, but I'm pretty sore about that. So I don't even want to bother testing them on the test server.
At least you could see their animations on the test server. At least that's going to be accurate.
Yeah, most of the time I can't show anybody those animations, but I can be like, oh, they looked cool, guys. Trust me.
They look super cool, guys. Trust me. Trust me. All right, yeah, but what we see on the test server for their kits may or may not be accurate, may or may not be changed before it goes live in the game. So from that part, yeah, I see what you're saying, brother.
I think for some reason I'm finding Daken's kit to look a little more niche. I guess he does some cool things, right?
Leads, stealth. He goes into stealth a lot. He puts him into stealth
and trauma.
Flip stealth.
Yeah, he does some interesting things. I just don't know.
Is it more of this passive, like the crit chance, the focus? I mean, that's awesome for the team, but
right. I think if you're going to be using like you add him to the members of the team that you want to use to really make him work better, and he fits well. I
think the three-piece is going to have a lot of life. Not just in war, it's going to have life in Crucible. The three-piece, all three of these characters used together, and then maybe Cloak and Dagger or somebody else to round out this team, or Deathpool and a few others to round out this team. Yeah, but I think that's how it's eventually going to be.
Out of the gate, I'm going to be, so actually my new plan is that every single character that comes to Marvel Strike Force, I will be building up to Gear Tier 16. That's just
they got you. Plan. They got you, Run.
Well, they're going to be put into a spotlight rate eventually, so we kind of have to, no matter what. So
they train you every single character.
I'm trying to train myself, And so once I get him to 16 and I play with him on the live server where things are actually real, then I'm going to take a look and see how I feel about bringing him up more. Right now, more like 60-40 onto Pandapool for being the better of these two. And I think Old Man Logan is head and shoulders above everybody.
Pandapool, Old Man Logan Insane. Daken is good with the other two, but on his own, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's a booster for the team members that I'm already going to be building.
All right, so let me know your thoughts on the kits for these Mercs for Money. And as usual, there is going to be a showcase event. Wasteland Road Trip is the name of the event. And the story difficulty, you could use any of them. Challenge difficulty, you need Pandapool and Daken, so you need to have them unlocked for this challenge difficulty. And just like the Spider Society, hopefully they will make this completable before this event ends. The next two difficulties, the Merc for Money difficulty, you need them at 4 stars. The bonus difficulty, you need them at 6 stars. So probably not completable, but usually there's some pretty decent rewards and things for this. They are also tied to the month-long milestone event run. What do you think of this when you saw the rewards? No new characters in this. Is this a bad thing for farmability, or is this a good thing to help us catch up on things? Well, how do you interpret the no new characters in this?
Not everything is for me. There are a few character shards at the bottom that are useful to me, and I guess overall, they've been doing a decent job of sticking to their 6-month to 7-star farmability chart. Yeah. I haven't really heard any problems with it, other than there's a few characters, of course, that they're just
dark. They specifically mentioned dark promo characters. Yeah, so Black Knight wouldn't be there, but the rest of the characters. If their metrics
are saying they need to do this, and I'm still going to get my Goblin, my Void Knight to 7 stars within the 6-month period, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm kind of looking forward to the frame in this one. The rest doesn't really, like, there's not a lot of teal gear in here.
That's a cool looking frame. I see it.
There's no teal gear in here, so it's kind of the frame. I don't need the teal gear doesn't do any good. I want the crimson gear. There's no crimson gear in here for me, so
I was about to say I see a lot of crimson. I was about to say I see a lot, Ron. There's a lot of teal in there.
Yeah, a lot of teal gear. There's no crimson gear in here. I don't have enough gold in game to purchase crimson gear. Right now, it's either build everything Scopely tells me I have to build, or go for Mephisto. And so that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of shelving Mephisto, and I'm not able to purchase much gear for Mephisto right now. So I would have liked to see more crimson gear.
Train you properly, Ron. You're doing what they want you to do, not what you want to do.
Gold. Put a mega gold orb token down there so that Pathfinder Gaming can get another jackpot, you know?
Run the gold blitz along every single blitz. Yeah, just do that. More gold orbs. Keep running that over and over. But yeah, this should be a decent event.
I mean, Valley, if they're going to require me to build everything that comes out in the game, they need to be giving us a little bit more gold so that we can have some fun.
Just a little bit.
In the other areas. Just a little bit more gold.
Just a few 100 million more on a weekly basis would be fine.
I didn't complain about gold until just recently. You know, I had barely enough to get by, but then Mephisto comes out and I realized I can either do what they want me to do and make sure that all my characters are built to the levels that they can be built so that I can get through the content that Scopely wants me to get through, or I can go for Mephisto.
Oh, it's always like that. Every single Dark Dimension and Apocalypse is always like that. I gotta spend. But as soon as I get that meta character, then I can rest on my gold spending.
Big time sitting at the bottom of my roster because I was able to skip him. I skimped on my Bifrost team. I didn't bother building the Underworld team. I tried not to build the Out of Time team very big. I tried my best not to build the New Avengers. You know, they're still in like orange gear on my roster. And that's how I was able to go after Super Scroll faster. You know, I can't do that anymore because everything's going to be around gear tier 16 or higher for me to do what Scopely wants me to do. That costs gold.
All right. And you need to be very, very high stars to escape all the way from Kyln. How close did you get from escaping from the tower? Or did you escape from the tower? Did you get your spider sight and get through all these floors?
So I was on stream just screaming through the tower, and we started getting up into the late 30s and everything. And then somebody reminded me that the 3 diamond was for Gwenum. And I was like, yeah, I really want that 3 diamond. And I went over and looked at my roster and realized I already have a 3 diamond. And so I stopped.
The big rewards, I don't think were the diamonds. This stuff.
It
was one of these, almost $1 million in the store, almost $1 million each of these. You're getting 5. So that's that's 5 million gold for this, 5 million gold for that. To me, that was way more valuable than the stars. So I would have liked to get to 44.
I did push harder once when I looked at it, but on stream I was kind of frustrated because I was like, oh, this isn't for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of players that are super excited with the 3 diamond Gwenum, just like people were excited about the 3 diamond.
Who has a 7 gold star Gwenum though?
Not me.
Not me. Mine's is look, I'm a 27 out of 300, and I bought this character and I pushed hard in every event. She's not even close to the 7 stars yet. So
well, she'll be there eventually. Within that 6-month window, she'll be there.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
So for me, this Crimson stuff was a lot more valuable. I mean, this stuff in 44 is a lot more valuable for me than the stuff in 45 and 46, honestly. So that's what I was pushing for. I think I went
back and pushed into like 42 or 43, about where you're at. I don't remember where I left off, but I did go back and sit on my phone and push for a little bit more gold.
I pushed some characters, I brought them up, and I did not purchase the Spider Society. I wanted to see if I could do 43 without purchasing them. I think it is possible, but you need like perfect RNG, and I got close to perfect.
With like 3x3 Peter B. Parker. I've heard a rumor that happens somewhere along the lines.
How
many thousands of resets did they do?
I've had a 4x4 and it was super tough, and I still couldn't get through both 42 and 43. One of these I would need to sacrifice with the way that, or just have perfect and
I don't want to sit and do that. I don't want to sit and repeat it. A lot of players enjoy that act though. I know a lot of people who enjoy the art of trying to figure out your way through click by click, and they treat it like a maze. You know, you special here, ultimate here, and it doesn't work. Okay, we try it again, and they work their way through it until they figure out the perfect play combined with a perfect RNG to get the lowest score to get through there with the lowest star level character. That's how it should be everywhere.
That's what my rewards were. Run. That was what my real rewards were. You know, all this stuff would have been cool and, you know, good for my roster. That's really why I wanted to pass this Kyln, is to prove to myself that I could do it without purchasing these characters, and I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to.
I think free to play should be able to unlock, and with extremely good RNG and a lot of investment of their time, should be able to clear the entire thing. That's where I think the balancing should be, and I think there are some people who are doing that. So in the end, I think Kyln Tower was a success for the most part. I certainly liked the previous iteration. I had a lot of fun on the previous iteration. I personally would like the new floors to be sprinkled in throughout the tower, so it's not a repeat of the same floors that we've already done, plus new ones just tacked onto the end. However, I understand they're trying to pressure.
This is their money maker. This is their money maker. So you said you enjoyed the other one a little more. Last one was floor 40. You needed Super Scroll to get through that. It was kind of based on if you had Super Scroll or not. This one based on if you have the Spider Society or are willing to go and get that perfect RNG through that. I think from what I heard, these Cabal stuffs are a lot easier than the Spider Society, but it's based on that. So based on the limit of each one, which one do you think was more fun looking back on it? The limit based on Super Scroll or based on Spider Society?
For me, the limit based on Super Scroll was amazing. It timed out perfectly for me. I unlocked my Super Scroll a day before Kyln, and 2 days into Kyln, I got him to the big boy status.
Nice.
I was really happy with how that timed out. I felt like I worked really hard to get to that character without spending ridiculous amounts of money. I didn't purchase gear or gold offers or anything to go into getting my Super Scroll. Yeah. And so pushing hard for that character and unlocking him and getting all the way through the tower on my own merits, using my own investment of time and strategy was amazing. Plus the people, of course, that helped me out, like on stream and stuff like that. So it wasn't all my strategy. I don't want to take full credit. But that was an amazing experience for me. One of the best experiences in Marvel Strike Force, in fact. This time around, technically, I could probably get through the tower, but it is pushed a lot more toward spend and you can do it. And I'm just not really liking that. That theme has been pushed down our throats too much lately.
Kyln and the old man Logan alike. Two things back to back that just doesn't feel good. All right, let's talk about this event, because this event is pretty good. The All That Glitters event, so much better than last week's event with Spider-Man POV. That was a horrible event, and it was based on the store, spending in the store, only a certain amount of shiny coins so that you didn't screw up your lines. This week, still the same exact shiny coins, still the exact same store, but now you can purchase what you want. You don't have to spend a limit of 10,000 a day.
Right.
These rewards are based more on the incursion energy. Blitzing doesn't take a lot of blitzing. What do you think of this week's major event?
I'm happy with it, but like you said, we're kind of coming off of a bitter taste left in our mouth from the way that the shiny store operated. I was happy with that PAV unlock. I was happy that we were able to unlock PAV early into it, but then the rest of the whole thing got pretty grindy. So there was, I want to give credit where credit is due, but
I think
this event seems a lot better to me. I'm happier with this. And and I don't want Scopely to ever get rid of stores. Stores are great. It's like an orb, but you get to pick the contents, right? Yeah. And so I think stores are fantastic, but these artificial limitations that they keep putting on here.
Well, okay? I gotta think. I think that was a new event designer that did that, because they've never done something like that in the past. I hope they never do something like that again, to limit what we have to spend in the store. That was what made it bad.
Yeah, if they didn't have that, it would last.
Yeah.
That new event designer should have taken an apprenticeship first and watched somebody else who knows what they're doing, because that was totally botched. They made this was probably the worst store I've ever seen personally.
Worst store, and I bet it was the same event designer that designed that Iron Patriot event, because we had the POV event. We've had a good one for Peter B, but before that was the Iron Patriot one. That was a bad one. So it's like we're alternating good and bad events per week.
I don't think Iron Patriot would have been so bad had they put Iron Patriot shards only in the pass, because they mixed it with Red Goblin, and so the
event was bad. The event had a minimum drop.
The event was bad.
The event was bad. The event was bad. No,
the event was bad. Had they put all his shards in the pass that I purchased, I would have him to another star level and I wouldn't feel so bad about it right now. But instead, I moved 2 characters closer to a star rank. That doesn't really do me any good.
It's still a bad event. Even if they put 100 extra shards in the pass, it's still a bad event. It's still
yeah.
All right,
well, I'm trying to be positive here. I've been bashing on him this whole time.
We're switching roles, I guess. You're the positive. I'm not the negative one. It was reversed in the beginning of the video. All right, let's talk about the Spider Society. Peni Parker just got released. I don't know if you bought her. I don't know if you tried her. But what have you heard about the difference she's making in the raids and CC on the live server? Screw whatever happened on the test server. What are you hearing about this team on the live server in raids and CC?
Okay. In CC, I was incredibly surprised because so many of us felt that they were going to do terrible on defense in Cosmic Crucible. And I'm to blame. I was telling people the same thing. The testing shows that they're not going to do good in Crucible.
Blame the test server. Blame the test server. Let's screw up on the test server.
I don't know. I'm not being a part of the test server anymore. I'm so sure about it. I just don't even want to go down that road anymore. I walked into Crucible and my opponent had him on defense and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this out. And I had already started hearing rumors that they were better than we thought. And so I'm like, I'm not going to let it take me off guard. And I saw screenshots of someone who mirrored the team dropping Knowehere and using Quicksilver. And I tried that twice and got nowhere. I kept timing out. I couldn't make anything happen. I was punching across. It just wasn't working. I couldn't get the victory that I saw in the screenshots. I was very frustrated. I went back in with, I believe it was Apocalypse and Spider Society.
I got another solution for you in Crucible we'll talk about in just a little bit.
I'm aware of all the Crucible solutions now to it, but at the time, I was very frustrated because they were so much better on defense than I thought. Yeah. And they are an absolute powerhouse. It is the team to put on defense. I don't know of anything else you should be using.
All right, well, we'll get back to that because they're a problem in 2 different rooms, not just one. The release event for Peni will be on the 6th through the 14th. And the good thing about that is they've extended this loose threads because originally she wasn't going to be released till then, and this showcase event was going to be released before that. Wouldn't necessarily be a problem, but they specifically had a blog post saying that, oh, you're going to be able to complete 3 tiers of this. And then when we looked at the dates, it wasn't there. So I'm glad they extended this. What are your thoughts on the errors that they're making in all these blog posts now and looking at the timing and the attention to detail that they have?
It's the same old Scopely. They haven't improved in this department. It's still the stupid little mistakes where they're not paying attention to the content that they're putting out. These are not bugs in the code. This is somebody dropping the ball because they're not paying attention. These are human errors, not bugs in code. These are things that are unexcusable. This is not what a serious gaming company does when they want to truly be competitive in their market.
You say that like the gaming industry has this high reputation right now. The gaming industry has a
gaming industry doesn't have a high reputation. They're just lowballing it. It's pathetic.
It's not just Marvel Strike Force. It's everything in the gaming industry run. This is not an isolated thing for just Marvel Strike Force. It's gaming in general.
Well, I'm playing other games right now, more so than ever, in fact, and I'm not seeing so many mistakes in other games. So, and the thing is that this is Scopely. It is continuing to happen. For going on 6 years now, it's not changing, and we keep telling them stop with these stupid little mistakes.
Okay.
As far as this goes, extend it, make it every single time they do these showcase extended events or whatever events, they should always be where the free-to-play community can get all 5 characters and play through all of the beginning tiers. And then if they want to sell those higher difficulty tiers, that's fine. What they put in there for rewards is going to dictate how big a blowback they get from their community about it. And frankly, I think they've been okay with the rewards and making it pay to go through the rest of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to pay for this stuff. It's still teal stuff, right? I mean, maybe if I haven't been to Dark Dimension 6, cool. but there's no crimson stuff. I'm not going to buy it just for this
stuff. I'm not trying myself to sleep. I could definitely use those blue 5 ions. I hit the blue 5 ion wall hard. Yeah. And I could definitely use the blue 5 ions, and you got to pay for those. So
it was because of the Kyln that made me run out of all my blue 5 ions. Right. But yeah.
Well, you spent those because you wanted to on Kyln, right? You spend those because you wanted to invest in characters to make them more powerful. That's how it should be.
Yeah. That's let's go back to the Spider Society, because how much do I need to invest in this team to make them good? Not in the Kyln, in Incursion 2.3, just to complete it. And how big does this need to be to sim that node?
Well,
obviously the recommendations like you're 19, not the recommended sim, like reliably sim like 70% of the time or more.
Now, I don't know, because I finally got all of mine up and running, and then the other day my lane got taken and I didn't even get to try them out. So today will be my first day on the live server. I get to take them through. Most of my characters are 95, 18. I have some diamonds on Knowehere, and I've got 4 red stars on most of them. I haven't purchased anything. I think I'm going to be just fine manualing through it, and I think a little bit more investment, I will have a reliable enough team to sim. I think if you go level 118 across the board, you're probably going to be able to sim some of this stuff. But I don't know, because I haven't done it on the live server, and I no longer trust test server at all.
All right. What are you hearing with the boss node? I'm hearing that this is actually the best team for the boss node. Someone in chat this morning said Pegasus got smashed, Extreme got smashed, Hive Mind got smashed. Small, tiny Spider Society beat up about half of the node. What are you hearing about the boss node on Incursion 2.3?
That checks out with me. It's the newest team, so it's probably the best team as far as stats and stuff like that. When we see them going head-to-head against other raid teams in Crucible, this is the clear winner. That checks. I don't know. I haven't played the boss node, so I can't verify that. I have played the boss node with other teams, and they don't work that great, so it's got to be this team, right? It's got to be.
It has to be.
It's only going to get better as you put more stars on them and get them going. And hey, they're a great team everywhere. So don't feel bad about building this team big. I think it's unfortunate.
I wanted them to be just raids so I could skip a team, but now I got to build them.
I think the real question is which of these members do you want to take into Dark Dimension? And that's a whole other question. And I'm not sure.
I think Peter B. Just seeing what he did in Kyln, that was amazing. I'm taking Peter B, I think.
And Knowehere seems to be this really important character in a lot of different places. Yeah. Penny Parker, I'm curious to see how she operates once I get her up in the stars. I'm not ready to say I'm taking any of these to DD7, but it is a question.
Oh yeah, I'm putting no crimson on any of them, but I'm thinking Peter B is one that I'm taking in. All right, Crucible, what is worse for the Spider Society? Room 2, where you get all the raid bonuses, or Room 5, where you get blind, lowering the speed and all that stuff, ultimate abilities, flying blind to the primary target. I've seen Spider Society a couple times in Room 5. I've not seen them in Room 2. What do you think is the worst room for these characters in?
Well, I think it depends on what you do in Room 2. So if you have...
You're talking on defense?
On defense. If you have a powerful, like, say, Pegasus, and you want to just throw a full Pegasus in 2, then I think you definitely want to put them over in 5 and have those 2 raid teams. However, maybe you want to save them for offense so you can do the mirror. Maybe you want to do the Hive Mind APOC or Hive Mind Sus if you find them in 2. They're a complicated team. They're brand new, and we don't have a lot of good solutions. I think this is one where, depending on which room they're in, we got to wait and see what some of the good hybrid counters are going to be.
I got a solution.
Oh, let me hear your solutions. I'm dying.
Room 5 right here. Now, this is I saw Dorky do this with a hybrid team. I did this with a full team, and it still worked. Tangled, Eternals, and Red Hulk. Smash these guys in 5. Not a hard matchup. You got to take a lot of the early hits because they take a lot of turns. Mm-hmm. I used a New Warriors the other day. New Warriors didn't even take a turn. They didn't even go. I used another team. They didn't even take a turn. These guys outspeed a lot of characters. Luckily, 2099 gets his hit in, and then your team starts rolling. So that one. The other team I've seen, I haven't tried this, but I've heard against them in Room 2, the Hive Mind with Sus works.
Yeah.
So kind of what you're using against Bifrost anyway in room 2. So yeah.
And let's say that again. Hive Mind and Sus is the baseline for beating the team. They're freaking amazing. Okay, that's really good. You're forcing your opponent to use one of the other of in my opinion, the 3 best raid teams are probably Extreme, Spider Society, maybe Pegasus, I guess, but they're kind of slow off the start.
Are you talking in room 2 in Crucible? Because Bifrost is horrible in room 2, dude. Bifrost is horrible. Yeah.
I mean, so Hive Mind's a great team. Maybe they're the 3rd or 4th best team as far as the raid teams go, but they're still a fantastic team, and it requires Hive Mind plus Sus. And that's just huge. You're throwing the kitchen sink to beat them. You're not beating them with any other raid team or supplementing somebody's symbol. I think we've seen the mirror. No, I'm sorry. It was what team did somebody use? I think it was Hive Mind and Pav, Dorky Dad was using, and that looks sketch. That looks so sketch, and he was able to pull it off.
Well, Run,
you know,
I just figure
but then you're debilitating your Spider Society team by using that.
I just figure I have to use Hive Mind and Sus in room 2, no matter what's there. I'm using Hive Mind and Sus, Bifrost, Spider Society, and then I'm going to save my Tangled Eternals in case I see this in 5. I think that's a solution. It took a week, but I think Crucible solve. Let me know if you guys have other solutions or these things aren't working for you.
Well, tonight it's going to be a whole different lineup. You're going to come across something new. It's going to change, and that's why I like Cosmic Crucible. It changes with new teams coming in. You know, we're seeing fresh, evolving rooms throughout each season. So it's
new
really
Warriors
good.
about to get better. New Warriors about to get better. Let's see how big of an impact they're going to have. That change hasn't went live yet, so that's going to be happening very, very soon. One big thing, Run. I want to know what you're going to do with this. I don't know if you saw this, but Knowehere Heist is returning. What the hell are you going to do with these 105 dark promo credits that you're getting tomorrow? Have you thought about that?
I don't know. Combine them with the 2,500 I'm getting with the pass. Like, this is an inconsequential amount. This is just this is like, I don't know, like what is it? Block Party. I can't even remember their names. They're such unforgettable events.
All
such a waste of time. You click on it, you click auto, you forget it. I mean, gold promos, give me a break. Like, Elite 7s. I need one Elite 7. That's all I need, and I will re-roll it until I get the latest character. That's it.
Yeah, I'm doing that as well. Yeah, and then any other ones, I'm getting the silver diamond credits. Yeah,
converting them into diamonds. Yeah.
Now, some people want to save the 6s and then use your gold promos because the gold promos are worth nothing. I'd rather get the guaranteed for 7. I don't know if that's wrong or right, but I'd rather get the guaranteed and not worry about it until later. Even if I'm never going to hit the gold stars for a while, I just don't want to worry about it.
I am trying to teach myself that now it would be better to use the gold promos to purchase the new character up to 7 because I'm going to have an extraordinary abundance, right? I'm rounding out my minions now, so eventually I'll have nothing to spend them on.
Here's the thing, Run 7. You may like have 10 6s, Elite 6s, and pull them 0 times. Pull the character 0 times, right? That's why I'm saving one Elite 7. That's
I'm talking about using gold promos to get them up and
gold
not opening
gold promos are nothing. I mean,
I'm not going to open any elites.
Where am I? I'm at 6,000 right now. I mean, these are nothing. These are nothing.
So you should just take those 5 diamond credits instead, and then purchase your character stars up, because if you're not buying them to 7 stars out of the gate, there's no reason to rush to get your 7th red star on them. You might as well just spend those gold promos every time they come into the store. Purchase them up to 7 red stars that way.
Maybe just open my 4s. I don't know. We'll discuss. Let me know best practices. Let me know what you guys are doing with all this stuff down in the comments.
Here's the best practice. You do what's fun to do, and I like opening that one Elite 7 just to see it drop, even though it's guaranteed. So
that's if you want fun. We talked about the best practice. Do what exactly Scopely tells you to do. That's the best practice in Marvel's, right?
Yeah, read the blog post. It's written right there, plain as day. Just do that.
All right, but we got some free stuff coming. We got some free stuff. You could choose either Void Knight or Red Goblin for the Celebration Beta Ray build, completing Dark Dimension 7. And it sounds like you're going to have these Celebration tokens, so you may be able to use some on the other. I think they gave these tokens were worth 25 of each before, and you could use it on whatever character in combination of Hunter free shards. I'm not sure how that's going to be. If it's not like that and you have to choose one character, who would you choose? Void Knight or Red Goblin?
Whichever one's lower on my roster. I'm actually looking right now, but it's loading. I'm thinking Void Knight, probably. I think he's the lowest on my roster. I really hope, Scopely, if you're watching, I really hope you guys do the 25 shard tokens where you can pick smaller increments of both. I think that's a great way to go. That makes everybody so happy.
I think that's what they're going to do, because they do mention tokens and it's plural. My other question, 2 polls go out on Facebook. Why aren't they using their web polls? I thought that was successful. Go to the web poll. Give us our power cores and gold. Why are they going to Facebook? Is it because they don't want to get power cores and gold?
They need to be pushing different social media avenues, I guess.
I mean, this is what they used to use for the blitzes. Maybe they just forgot that they have the web poll now.
Somewhere along the line, someone told them that there was money to be made to do this, and so they're on the hunt.
That's the explanation. All right, so that is it for the news this week. Lots of stuff coming up. Let me know, guys, what are your thoughts on this legendary unlock? I do see that there's some positives, mostly negative, though. The Merc for Money theme looks very, very solid. What is your big takeaway for the week?
I think that we cried for years about more agency, and Scopely is going the wrong direction with that, making more and more pay to progress in this game instead of allowing their player base to challenge themselves to do more difficult content than what is recommended. That's the fun part of Marvel Strike Force. I think that this community does 2 things very well. We do theory crafting and we do complaining. And they just announced a new raid that has 0 agency. So what do you think this community is going to do? They're going to complain.
Well, one thing that gives me hope is that since the Player's Voice movement, they do seem to be listening to the community a little bit more. These past series of events kind of rains on that a little bit, but hopefully they listen more. Hopefully the Player's Voice makes a big stink. Hopefully they see all our videos about this and wanting fun to come back, theory crafting come back, and hopefully they implement that, and hopefully there's still enough time to change this and give a little more breathing room for all this stuff. But hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, leave it a like. It is free for you. Helps out the channel tremendously, helps out that YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see what are the mistakes, what are the characters that you should not invest in, check the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Are you ready for a fist bump, brother? Run.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin run 7 out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.